Yeah, we have started recording the session. Yeah, thank you, Pawan. And so my name is Riyad, and here we have Pawan, who is my friend, colleague, and equity research analyst. He's an ex-Citibank, um, uh, and really passionate about equity investing, stock market investing, um, I also have personal experience with him. I mean, almost 4 years I'm using his services, and of course made a lot of money. And in this period, I we talk a lot about हमेशा बात करते रहते हैं ये स्टॉक ये कंपनी ये कैसी है सो दिस टाइम मैंने पूछा पवन से आई आस्क्ड हिम कि what sector do you think it's a good thing good idea to to invest on. So then Pawan shared that we let's tell this to everybody, let's tell his knowledge. So he did his research research किया अभी now whatever the things that he think like कौन सा सेक्टर में हमने इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. कल मार्केट बहुत टूटा है, बहुत गिरा है, और दिस आई थिंक दिस कुड बी अ राइट टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट. So I think this is the right time to look at key. We will see what sector we need to invest, what probably stocks will be good, and um, and then we will invest in. So that's the plan that we have. So yeah, now moving to yeah, Pawan, आपके
Yes,
हाथ में सब कुछ,
yes.
and
Thank you.
बताइए क्या है आपका plan.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Riaz, for that brief introduction. So today we'll start about कि मल्टीबैगर सेक्टर्स या स्टॉक्स तो सब जो भाग चुके हैं, राइट. जो स्टॉक भाग चुके हैं उनके बारे में बात करने से जो आगे भाग सकते हैं उनके बारे में हम बात करें तो इट वुड बी हेल्पफुल टू एवरीबॉडी. सबके लिए दैट इज गुड, क्योंकि एवरीबॉडी वांट्स टू इन्वेस्ट इन द सेक्टर की जहाँ पे वो मल्टीबैगर सेक्टर हो सकता है. And after doing the lot of research and seeing all the sectors where we can invest our money in this bull market, right? Market already 16,400 cross कर चुका है, and इतने market के height पे which is the good sector to invest with less risk and more returns. So we'll definitely talk about it. So the next multi-bagger sector according to our research is the real estate sector, and we'll tell why we feel the real estate sector can be the next multi-bagger sector to look out, where we can have good returns and less risks at this point in market. So let's start. So basically we'll start with it. Yeah. So why real estate? So अगर आप देखो तो निफ्टी आफ्टर ड्यू टू दिस कोविड-19 pandemic, right, after Nifty touched 7,500, then and today it is at 16,600. So what all sectors have performed, right? So if you see here, Nifty metals, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, SAIL almost have ran almost 300-400% up from their recent high lows. And if you see Nifty IT also, it has been same with Nifty IT. Sugar stocks have ran like anything. Chemical और pharmaceutical stocks भी बहुत ज़्यादा run up हुआ है. One of our stocks, Laurus Labs, which has performed, provided 500% returns in 1 year. So all these sectors जो चल चुके हैं, right? So now what? अभी these are not going. So once you have got the stock which has performed 200-300%, वहां से वो आपको 200-300% returns नहीं दे सकता, right? Because it already had ran up 200-300%. So what can be the sector wherein we can get good returns, or wherein it is a multi-bagger sector? So we have chosen the real estate sector. So if you look at the real estate stocks, right, so वहां पे अगर आप देखोगे तो there is not much of growth or not much of return in past 1 year. Stocks वही के वही पे है. So actually there is a reason वो stock वही के वही पे क्यों है, और उसका and there is also a reason कि stock यहाँ से आगे क्यों चल सकते हैं. So दोनों के लिए रीजन है. अब तक क्यों नहीं चले वो भी हम इसमें बताएंगे, और यहाँ से आगे क्यों चल सकते हैं that also we'll explain. So let's get started with it. So उसके लिए first we'll talk about कि what is going on in the real estate globally. So अगर आप देखो तो US में after 2013 the prices were stagnant, and in last year there has been 19% increase in the real estate prices in US. एक साल में 20% prices बढ़े हैं. रियल इस्टेट यूके और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी ये साल देयर इज 30% ग्रोथ इन द रियल इस्टेट हाउसिंग प्राइसेस. So there is almost 30% prices बढ़ चुके हैं. And if you see the news here, right? So houses pricing continue to go through the roof. तो globally जो prices थे वो अभी they are touching the roof 20%, 30% in a year. So एक साल में 30% almost they have already provided that much of growth. And if you see, so 10 cities spending big money on new housing construction. So basically the real estate rally in the global or US bolo, UK, Australia, globally it has kicked off. And so first to understand this, we'll go ki real estate cycle, how does the real estate cycle works, real estate cycle kaam kaise karta hai. So we'll come up with the, so this is the overview. Now we'll come to India, back to India, the real estate overview of the Indian real estate sector. So this is the story of Indian real estate sector over past 15 years. 15 साल का ये जो ग्राफ है, तो हर एक चीज का एक इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल होता है. जैसे आप बोलते हो तेजी आती है, फिर मंदी आती है, फिर तेजी आती है, दैट इज अ इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल. सो वो इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल विल स्टडी द इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल हियर. तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे कि 2008 में जब रिसेशन आया था, at that time there was very easy access to capital. Loan rate एकदम नीचे आ गए थे, it was almost 6-7% during that time. उसके बाद डिमांड बढ़ने लगा था, और उसके बाद people have started buying houses at that time. And when this real estate sector started kicking off, right? So during that time 2008 से 2013 we have seen the phenomenal growth where real estate prices have gone 2x 3x in a very less time of 2-3 years. तो ये साइकिल के पीक में हम जब आते हैं, तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, डिमांड वाज हाई बट द इंक्रीमेंटल ग्रोथ, मतलब रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर में इंक्रीमेंटल ग्रोथ वो कम था. लॉन्चेस बहुत सारे हो रहे थे और डिमांड धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा था. लॉन्चेस मतलब हर कोई रियल एस्टेट में इंडिविजुअल रियल एस्टेट उसका स्टैंड अलोन बिल्डिंग ये करके ही यूज्ड टू स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग बिकॉज ही हैड स्टार्टेड सीइंग द साइकिल, और इतने प्रॉफिट्स है 2x 3x दाम हो रहे हैं, तो हर कोई वाज गोइंग अराउंड दैट रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर टू कंस्ट्रक्ट समथिंग एंड सेल इट. सो व्हेन एट दिस पॉइंट इन 2013 ये जो रियल एस्टेट साइकिल का जो पीक आया, यहाँ पे लॉन्चेस ज्यादा हो गए और डिमांड कम हो गई, और बाद में जो लॉन्चेस ज्यादा होने की वजह से इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा हो गई और प्राइजेस वहां से नीचे आना शुरू हो गए. यहाँ से जब नीचे 2014, 15, 16, 17 जब हम ये किया, तो इन्वेंट्री पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड कंस्ट्रक्टिंग हाउस, राइट? सो एक बार आप कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू करते हो तो उसको 2-3 साल लग जाते हैं. तो 2012-13 में जिन्होंने कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू किया, वो कंस्ट्रक्शन खत्म होने तक 14-15 हो जाता था, राइट? बट बाय दैट टाइम द प्राइजेस ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड फॉलिंग डाउन.
You're on mute, probably.
Yeah. So are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
So बहुत सारा सप्लाई जो था मार्केट में, that started and that वहाँ पे जो सप्लाई, एक्सट्रीम सप्लाई जो होने लग गया, उसकी वजह से इन्वेंट्री पाइल अप स्टार्टेड and demand was gradually decreasing. So after this phase, right, phase 3, this is called as a contraction phase. तो यहाँ से जो demand contraction शुरू हुआ, and in finally 2016 end November में we were bombarded with the RERA, उसके बाद GST हुआ. After that the demand fall like anything. वो टाइम पे wherein the black money was not there and the demonetization happened, right? So वहां पे डिमांड, मतलब डिमांड और भी कम हो गया, कैश नहीं था लोगों के पास, जो इंटरेस्ट रेट्स थे वो हाई थे, तो पीपल वर नॉट विलिंग टू इन्वेस्ट. एंड ड्यूरिंग दिस साइकिल, राइट, व्हाट हैपेंड? सो विल टॉक अबाउट द रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर में प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है और ये 7 साल में हुआ क्या. सो जैसे मैंने बताया, रेरा आया, उसके बाद जीएसटी, उसके बाद डिमोनेटाइजेशन और IL&FS क्राइसिस. So what happened due to this? The lot of builders which were not organized, या जिनका वो all time business नहीं था, they got kicked out of the business because उन्होंने high leverage, high loans, हाई मतलब बहुत सारा लेवरेज लेके दे हैव कंस्ट्रक्टेड दोस, एंड वंस दे वर नॉट एबल टू सेल दोस इन्वेंटरी, राइट, they started moving out of it, and the industry consolidation started. So ये चारों चीजों का, ये चारों जो problems आए, right, so after the every problem there is a किसी को अगर नुकसान हुआ है तो definitely किसी ना किसी को उसका फायदा हुआ है, और उसका फायदा हुआ जो बड़े रियल एस्टेट प्लेयर्स है, जो लिस्टेड और ऑर्गेनाइज रियल एस्टेट प्लेयर्स है, उसका उनको फायदा हुआ. एंड वो फायदा कैसे हुआ, I'll just share it ahead. So
नहीं,
this
ये
is the, yeah, this is the price chart of the.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. No, this is exactly the same experience with me. मैंने एक फ्लैट लिया 2014 में, जब पीक साइकिल चल रहा था रियल एस्टेट का. एंड
Right.
देन उसके बाद फिर रेरा, जीएसटी, नोटबंदी, आईएलएफएस क्राइसिस, एवरीथिंग केम, और वो फ्लैट कभी बना ही नहीं, बिकॉज लॉट्स ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स इन दैट विद दैट बिल्डर, एवरीथिंग. द फ्लैट रेट अभी तक सेम ही है, the
Right,
same
right,
that they are providing. So
right.
you're right.
So
Thank you.
ये
The
जो
explanation
this
of
is
this.
what we are trying to tell, ये जो ग्राफ है, right, so ये जो रियल एस्टेट के जो प्राइजेस है, ये पिछले 7 साल में they have been flat, so they are hovering around 5,500 square foot. So this is the average rate of the tier 1, tier 2 metro cities, Delhi, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, NCR का average निकल के we get this price. So housing prices per square foot has not moved in past 7 years. एंड जैसे मैंने बताया कि जो रियल एस्टेट, जैसे रेरा और डीमोनेटाइजेशन जब आया, राइट, सो उसका फायदा जो बड़े प्लेयर्स है उनको कैसे मिला. सो दिस इज द ग्राफ. तो ये है रियल मार्केट शेयर ग्राफ, मार्केट शेयर ऑफ द हाउसिंग सेक्टर. सो यहाँ पे रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर में जो लिस्टेड प्लेयर्स है उनका जो मार्केट शेयर 6% था, दैट हैज मूव्ड ओवर 22%. बिकॉज जो वीक बिल्डर्स थे, या जिनका बहुत ज्यादा लेवरेज था, या जिन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा लेवरेज करके कंस्ट्रक्शन किया था, दे नाउ स्टार्टेड मूविंग आउट, बिकॉज ड्यू टू प्रॉब्लम ऑफ रेरा, डिमोनेटाइजेशन, इंडस्ट्री कंसोलिडेशन स्टार्टेड. सो इफ यू सी, तो ये जो 6% लिस्टेड डेवलपर्स थे, इनका मार्केट शेयर 6% से जाके 22% तक पहुंचा. अगेन देन जो अनलिस्टेड ऑर्गेनाइज प्लेयर्स है, कुछ बिल्डर्स ऐसे भी जो अनलिस्टेड है बट जो ऑर्गेनाइज है, जो ऑलरेडी बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन में बहुत पहले से है, राइट, सो उनका भी मार्केट शेयर 11% से 18% तक बढ़ा. एंड अगर आप देखो अनलिस्टेड प्लेयर्स जो है, जो जिनका एक्यूमुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा हो गया था, दैट डिक्रीज फ्रॉम 83% टू 60%. सो टोटल नंबर ऑफ डेवलपर्स केम डाउन टू 52%. मतलब पहले अगर 100 डेवलपर थे तो अभी ओनली 52 डेवलपर्स है, ड्यू टू रेरा एंड डिमोनेटाइजेशन. तो ये इंडस्ट्री कंसोलिडेशन हो गया. तो ये जो फायदा है मार्केट शेयर, ये बड़े प्लेयर्स को इसका बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हुआ. एंड देयर इन नाउ द नंबर ऑफ डेवलपर्स आर कम, एंड ड्यू टू द ट्रस्ट इश्यू ऑल्सो, पीपल प्रेफर कि जो बड़ा बिल्डर है उसी के पास दे गो एंड बाय हाउस.
Excellent.
And abhi we'll talk about the supply, that has been supply demand issue. So अगर आप देखोगे तो 2014 में, so this is the supply chart, and जो yellow है that is a demand, that is a absorption, मतलब वो supply कितना जल्दी absorb हुआ है. तो अगर आप check करोगे, so 50,000 units in 2014 were there, and out of that only 35,000 units were sold. तो ये जो गैप है, राइट, ये गैप कंटिन्यूअसली जो 3-4 साल से बढ़ता रहा, इसकी वजह से इन्वेंट्री पाइल अप होते गया. इन्वेंट्री मतलब फ्लैट्स बहुत सारे हैं बट बायर्स टू देम वर लो. सो दिस गैप स्टार्टेड डिक्रीजिंग नाउ slowly or gradually, because this is the cycle, this is the industry cycle. After a up cycle, down cycle भी आता है. तो ये जो cycle है, right, this cycle started decreasing धीरे धीरे. और यहाँ पे 2019 में again we started seeing the up cycle, but again 2020 में जब COVID-19 आया, right, so again this cycle was hampered due to the COVID-19 external factor, and we again saw the bottom of the cycle. But after that, जैसे cycle pick up हुआ, right, now we have started seeing the growth. So these are the estimates of FY21 year, FY22 or FY23. So यहाँ से Anurag is a property consultant in Mumbai, which expects acceleration in demand will outpace the supply. मतलब अभी supply जो है वो कम होगा और demand ज्यादा है. तो demand, there is a reason कि उसका demand ज्यादा क्यों है, because nothing here is not there because of reason. उसका कुछ reason है. that's where the demand is going to increase. And why demand is going to increase, as I said, we'll discuss this in the next slide. So what has triggered to the real estate upcycle? ये जो रियल एस्टेट का अप साइकिल या रियल एस्टेट में फिर से जो पिकअप शुरू हुआ है, ये क्यों शुरू हुआ है, इसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे यहाँ पे. सो देयर आर मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स जिसकी वजह से रियल एस्टेट साइकिल पिकअप हुआ है. सो आउट ऑफ दैट इज लोअर इंटरेस्ट रेट, अफोर्डेबिलिटी राइज, आईटी सेक्टर ग्रोथ, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी कट, ग्लोबल स्टिमुलस. सो इनके बारे में हम एक एक इसमें बात करेंगे. सो फर्स्ट लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द रियल इंटरेस्ट, मतलब जो इंटरेस्ट रेट्स है जो लोन प्रोवाइड करते हैं, राइट. सो इफ यू सी दिस आर्टिकल, जो पहले 9.5-10% पे होम लोन प्रोवाइड होता था, now that home loan is being provided at 6.65, as low as 6.65% as per the RBI. अगर आप SBI का होम लोन रेट देखोगे, राइट, at 6% is the cost of borrowing. और अगर आप मानो कि 6% ये करके अगर मेरे को कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल मेरा 6% लग रहा है, and after that I am getting a good return in the industry upcycle, so people are going to buy houses, right. This is one of the reason. This is the all time low interest rates. This is like a never before opportunity for home buyers. तो जिनको घर खरीदना है, जो पहले 9% पे उनको लोन पे इंटरेस्ट पे उनको ये मिलता था, that is come down to 6.65%. and this is likely to stay for at least 1.5 year, at least 1 से 1.5 साल तो भी this interest rates are going to be constant. So this is the one of the most important thing why real estate cycle is going to kick off, because this is the we are into a time where यहाँ पे interest home loan rates are at all time low. Now we'll talk about the affordability ratio. तो ये basically ये ratio में हम ये बात करते हैं कि जो आपका होम लोन है, राइट, होम लोन पेमेंट है और इनकम है. सो एक चीज तो फिक्स है कि 2013 से द प्राइसेस हैव नॉट फॉलन, प्राइसेस हैड नॉट राइज, राइट. तो 2013 से 2020 में जो सैलरीड पर्सन है उनका इनकम तो बढ़ा है, राइट. द इनकम उनका बढ़ा है और होम लोन पेमेंट उतना ही रहा है. सो दिस अफोर्डेबिलिटी रेशियो मतलब क्या है? तो इट इज अ रेशियो ऑफ होम लोन पेमेंट वर्सेस आपका जो इनकम है. तो 7 साल में आपका इनकम तो बढ़ा है, बट होम लोन पेमेंट आपको उतना ही करना है जो 2013 में करना पड़ रहा था, राइट. सो इट इज जो ये डिनोमिनेटर फैक्टर है ये बढ़ गया है, आपका इनकम बढ़ गया है, बट होम लोन पेमेंट आज भी आपको उतना ही करना पड़ रहा है जो 2013 में करना पड़ रहा था, राइट. सो द होम लोन द अफोर्डेबिलिटी रेशियो हैज फॉलन टू FY4, मतलब 2004 में जो प्राइजेस थे, we are at those prices. अभी आप बोलोगे कि 2004 में रियल एस्टेट के प्राइसेस और 2020 में तो बहुत बढ़ गए, इतने थोड़ी है, बट ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड द इनकम हैज आल्सो राइजन, राइट. 2004 से 2021 में इनकम भी उतना ही राइज हुआ है. तो ये जो अफोर्डेबिलिटी रेशियो है, दिस हैज फॉलन टू ऑल टाइम लो. सो दिस इज वन मोर रीजन व्हाई पीपल आर विलिंग टू बाय हाउसेस, क्योंकि उनका इनकम तो बढ़ गया है, बट जो हाउस जो अगर वो लोन लेते हैं तो जो उनको पेमेंट करना पड़ रहा है दैट इज सेम एज कंपेयर टू 2013. एंड ऑल्सो जो इंटरेस्ट रेट 2013 में थे उससे कहीं ज्यादा कम इंटरेस्ट रेट इट इज इन FY21. दिस इज वन मोर फैक्टर. And just a minute. So now we'll come up to the Google searches versus the home loan growth. So this is the graph and this is a back tested graph कि जब भी people start searching on Google regarding the home loan, that means they are interested in buying houses ahead, right. So अगर ये ग्राफ देखो तो 2010 में जब when after recession when it started, right. So if you see here, यहाँ से 2009 में the Google search has already started. So basically this is the Google search का trend and this is the home loan growth का trend. So home loan growth जब भी अभी आज अगर मैंने आज Google search किया है तो यहाँ से 6 महीने बाद I am planning to buy a house. So you start seeing that effect, right. तो अगर Feb 2010 में Google search का ये बढ़ा है तो again if you see this तो 6 महीने के आगे home loan growth भी बढ़ी है. So we are entering the same period जो 2008 में था. We were at the bottom here and now again people have started searching for the home loans and real estate prices. So यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो तो वो Google searches में लोग home loan के लिए चेक कर रहे हैं. So अगर अभी चेक कर रहे हैं तो down the line 6 months you are again going to see the home loan growth also. So people are willing to buy houses. People are checking right now कि मुझे क्या रेट पे लोन मिल रहा है, क्योंकि ये दाम में ये इंटरेस्ट रेट्स पे अगर मुझे अच्छा प्रॉपर्टी मिल रहा है तो why not go for those property. Now we'll come to the other factor कि जो रियल इस्टेट सेक्टर के ग्रोथ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस रखता है. सो अगर आप आईटी सेक्टर देखो, सो आईटी सेक्टर डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली रियल इस्टेट सेक्टर ग्रोथ को हेल्प करता है. सो इफ यू सी द आईटी सेक्टर ग्रोथ, तो NASSCOM इज अ आईटी बॉडी इन इंडिया विच आईटी रेगुलेटर. तो उन्होंने बोला है कि इंडियन टेक्नोलॉजी सर्विसेज जो है उसका एक्सपोर्ट इज गोइंग टू राइज टू 300 to 350 billion by 2025. That is almost double from what we are today. This is the second news headline. Employees demand a 70% salary hike in the rise of COVID era. So I myself, I was a data analyst. I was working with Citi. So there itself, people are getting that much hikes. 30, 40, 50, 70% तक लोगों को hike मिल रहा है. So the income of the people which are working in IT is rising, is on the rise. जो job openings अगर अभी आप देखो, right? So the job openings are at all-time peak for IT in India right now. If you see this headline also, the Cognizant to hire 1 lakh people to mitigate the impact of elevated attrition. So due to this COVID, right, digitalization पे focus ज़्यादा होने लगा है, and due to which the IT sector growth has kicked off like anything. So when the IT sector growth happens, what happens? Let me just show you. So again, this is a chart of the retail home loan growth versus the growth in IT sector. So those are after that 2008 crash, right? Whenever this IT sector employee जो है उनका सैलरी पिकअप होना शुरू हुआ, right? Then the expenses, जैसे अगर उनका सैलरी बढ़ता है तो their expenses also goes off, right? अगर मुझे 70% हाइक मिलता है तो आई विल ऑलवेज थिंक ऑफ बाइंग एन एसेट, बाइंग एन हाउस, बाइंग एन कार, और बाइंग एनी लग्जरी आइटम, राइट? So if you see the trend here after September 2009, if you see here, so you will see कि जैसे ग्रोथ आईटी सेक्टर में ग्रोथ आया है तो सैलरी एक्सपेंस मतलब एक्सपेंसेस भी आईटी के लोगों के बढ़ गए, एंड दैट्स वेयर द होम लोन ग्रोथ भी बढ़ा है. So if you see and come here, right? So over next 8 to 10 months, we are anticipating this growth in IT. At least 20% IT sector में growth होगा और वहां से IT sector के expenses भी बढ़ेंगे. And again, so which we are here right now. So ये जो kick off होगा यहाँ से we'll see the real estate sector also, home loan growth also happening, which will be aiding the real estate sector. So whenever you have that money, right? So आपका expenses, आपका income बढ़ गया है पिछले 7 साल में, आपको property 7 साल पहले जो दाम था वही दाम में मिल रहा है, that too at a low interest rate. So people always prefer to buy house, and this is the reason why there is a real estate upcycle going to come in next 4-5 years. So when this upcycle starts, it is there to stay for at least 5 years. मतलब यहाँ से अगर kick off होता है, right? So this growth, you will be seeing this growth for at least 5 years. So these are the multiple factors, and other triggers for the real estate growth are like stamp duty cut जो Maharashtra government, Gujarat government ने provide किया है. So people have bought a lot of houses during those time. There were record registration happening in Mumbai in last 8 to 12 months. So this is one of the factors which is aiding the real estate growth. Then the second is the global stimulus. मतलब ये जो आर्थिक packages या जो stimulus governments ने दिए हैं, in US they have given a lot of stimulus, and there is a huge liquidity in the market, and combined with the easy access to capital. Easy access to capital means कि 6% पे आपको loan मिल रहा है, right? So that is, and they are there to give you. So there is a easy access to capital, and inventory levels are at 7-year low. So ये सारे triggers when you see, right? When you see all these triggers happening, lower interest rates, affordability rise, IT sector का जो growth है, stamp duty cut, और उसके बाद जो global stimulus, जो packages अलग-अलग governments, US government, Indian government, European government जो provide कर रही, that has triggered a clear upcycle in the real estate sector. चलो अभी we have talked about the real estate sector, ये सब हो गया, that knowledge ये सब sharing हो गया.
Awesome.
Now what is important is कि इसका फायदा किसको होगा? रियल इस्टेट सेक्टर को तो फायदा होगा ही होगा, बट उसके साथ साथ देयर आर मल्टीपल सेक्टर्स जिसको वो रियल इस्टेट सेक्टर में जो ग्रोथ है उसका फायदा होगा. सो दीज आर द रियल इस्टेट वैल्यू चेन एंड प्रॉक्सीज जिसमें जिसको रियल इस्टेट का फायदा होगा. सो होम बिल्डिंग मटेरियल्स, मतलब जैसे जो आरएमसी है, रेडी मिक्स कंक्रीट बनाते हैं, सीमेंट शीट्स बनाते हैं, सीमेंट ब्लॉक्स बनाते हैं, those companies they are going to be hugely benefited by this real estate sector growth. पेंट कंपनीज, उनको काफी फायदा होगा इस चीज का. पेंट कंपनीज आर आल्सो बेनिफिशियरीज. जो एसडब्ल्यूआर प्लम्बिंग के पाइप्स, इलेक्ट्रिकल्स, टाइल्स जो यूज करते हैं, राइट, या फिर लैमिनेटेड प्लाई है, सीमेंट्स है, सो पीपल यूज दोस, तो उसका भी फायदा काफी लोगों को होगा. So and one of the sectors which is important is like home finance. The companies which provide home finances, जैसे मैंने in last slide I talked about the real estate sector, right? So this is the home loan growth. So home loan growth होगा तो it is surely going to help the financing companies. So there are names like HDFC Bank, Repco Home Finance, which are going to be benefited from this. There are some companies in home building, Hyderabad Industries Limited, Vishakha Industries, which are going to be benefited. From paints, there are stocks like Asian Paints, which is all-time evergreen stock to hold. Pipes, there are some interesting names like Prince Pipes and other. And electricals and tiles, there are a lot of stocks which are which make the electric cables, right? Electric cables, there are some stocks which are electrical cables. Some are there into Kajaria tiles, making Kajaria, then Sera sanitary ware, so money. There are also companies which are into home innovation, home automation techniques. So there are some companies in that as well. So these are the real estate. So इसका रीजन एक है कि कभी कभी क्या होता है कि वी डू नॉट नो कि बिल्डर, हम हमेशा बोलते हैं कि ये बिल्डर कितना पानी में, हमको पता नहीं, राइट? सो पीपल हैव लेस ट्रस्ट ऑन द रियल एस्टेट. सो अगर if someone is not willing to invest in the real estate value proxy chains, right, if someone is not willing to invest into direct real estate stocks, so this real estate proxy chain is always helpful. क्योंकि वहां पे because real estate की कई लोगों को people do not understand the balance sheet, or people do not understand where to invest, वो कौन से real estate stocks में invest करें. There are a lot of names. There is Godrej Properties, there is DLA, there is IB Real Estate. There are a lot of names, right? So out of which we are not aware about the complete whole and soul of the company, but we can always look for the companies कि जहां पे रियल एस्टेट नहीं तो रियल एस्टेट को जहां पे ग्रोथ आएगा तो जो दूसरे सेक्टर्स में भी ग्रोथ आएगा. सो वी कैन ऑलवेज इन्वेस्ट इन दोस कंपनीज जहां पे which provide raw materials to the real estate sector, right? So these are all the sectors apart from the direct real estate sector, wherein we can have very good stocks and where we see that the good growth is happening, कि जहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा ग्रोथ हो सकता है कमिंग डेज में. बिकॉज जब आप कंस्ट्रक्शन करोगे तो ये चीजें, ये सभी चीजें हैं जो आपको लगेगी. तो रियल एस्टेट का सेल बढ़ना इज इनडायरेक्टली इन चीजों का सेल बढ़ना. So one who is looking for less exposure to real estate stocks can always invest in the real estate proxy companies.
One question I have.
Yes.
If you are okay.
Yes,
This
yes.
is for all basically. So आपने तो ये तो बता दिया definitely कि real estate is going to go up from this. ये now I understood. I also got to know कि अभी कौन से स्टॉक में जाना चाहिए. आपने बोला एशियन पेंट्स है ये, बट इनका हॉरिजॉन कितना रखना चाहिए? रियल एस्टेट के साइकिल एंड होने तक रुकना चाहिए या पीक में रुकना चाहिए, या उसके एंड पॉइंट क्या हो गया उसके? कब निकाल एग्जिट भी चाहिए?
Yes. तो अभी we are at the start of the upcycle. अभी तो upcycle शुरू just हो रहा है, and this cycle is at least here to stay for at least 3 to 5 years. So you can look for a span of 3 to 5 years wherein आपको 200 से 300% रिटर्न कुछ अच्छे स्टॉक्स में मिल सकता है जहाँ पे फंडामेंटल्स बहुत अच्छे हैं और जहाँ पे ग्रोथ बहुत अच्छी है. So 3 years and 3 times the money, that is a good deal, right? एफडी में 7 साल बाद आपके पैसे डबल होते हैं. यहाँ पे 3 साल अगर आप वेट करो, एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू होल्ड ऑन टू गुड स्टॉक्स, प्रोवाइडेड कि आप यू इन्वेस्ट इनटू कंपनीज वेयर which have seen lot of capex, which has seen lot of which is going to see a lot of growth, which are good brands which people prefer. So there are always chances then we in 3 years of span you can make good money into this kind of stocks. And home finances is also one of the sectors. Let me put on the light on this sector as well. So this sector has also not performed because kahin pe bahut sare NPAs, that is non-performing assets, due to COVID-19 people have not paid their loans, right? So uske wajah se ye stocks, the home finance company stocks are also at a lower levels. बट अभी जब तक कोविड का अनसर्टेनिटी खत्म नहीं हो जाता ऑफ द थर्ड वेव, राइट? सो ये सेक्टर को किक ऑफ होने को थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा. सो आई वुड रिकमेंड टू डू नॉट एंटर दिस सेक्टर एट दिस पॉइंट. वेट फॉर 1 or 2 more क्वार्टर्स एंड जहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा कोविड के थर्ड वेव का क्लियरिटी आ जाएगा. Once we are done with this third wave, so you are going to see very good growth in these sectors, all these sectors. चाहे वो consumer electrical companies हो, चाहे वो tile companies हो, चाहे वो finance companies हो, चाहे वो home automation हो, paints हो, pipes हो, या फिर cement, जो RMC cement sheet, cement blocks बनाते हैं. There are a lot of these companies wherein we can invest for now. And 3 साल बाद जब we see will be witnessing a very good growth in these sectors. And you can invest directly in real estate sector as well. It is not that, but people tend to think कि real estate में थोड़ा risk है, real estate stocks में basically. So let's not invest. So this is the option wherein we can invest in other sectors also apart from real estate. So awesome. Yeah. So and yeah. So this is the investor awareness program. So do not put your money in the WhatsApp forwarded messages, because वहाँ पे आपको forwarded message तो आ जाता है, उसमें से कब exit करना है, वो कंपनी का future क्या है, and वो हमको पता नहीं होता है. And we invest मतलब आंखें बंद करके हम invest कर देते हैं. And जब market में correction आता है, then उसमें हम अटक जाते हैं. We get stuck into that value trap. So always buy quality companies, hold them with conviction, and exit on a right time. And we are there here for you to provide the right advice to you. So ever if you need any help on investments, you can always reach out to us. And if you don't have answers to your questions, you can always ask here regarding any investments. So we'll be very happy to answer all your questions.
Very nice presentation. Thank you, Pawan. Got very much clarity. बहुत अच्छा clarity मिला. What sector we need to invest और कहाँ पे करना चाहिए. आपने तो कुछ stock के नाम भी बताए. I have noted it down. So thank you.
Yes. So we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yes. As you said, right. So I would like to. So we have a good time right now, right? So
yeah,
I would share one of the stocks also. So for our investors, so that they can invest there. And उनको एक मतलब option होगा, because
definitely
they have given
That's
us
great.
a lot of given us this time, right? So I'll like to put light on the sectors which in this real estate sector which I like. So are you able to see my screen?
We can only see your presentation PPT.
Okay.
We're not able to see the other screen. Yeah.
Let me
so everyone, yeah, thank you for joining this session. I think you have enjoyed. Yes, Pawan. So till then, Pawan, आप ready हो जाओ. I think हम क्या कर सकते हैं, questions किसी के हो गए, definitely questions हो गए. आपका तो meme काफी अच्छा था. Can't get answers until you ask questions. So thank you. So I think बहुत सारे questions हो गए. Definitely तो please ask questions. अगर आपको कोई question है, क्या पूछना है, क्या करना है, question आगे कैसे invest करना है. कल market बहुत गिरा था. I think this is one of the very good time to invest and sit on the just sit just to get a good profit. So yeah, आप पूछे questions, आपको कुछ जानना है तो. And yeah, Pawan, आप भी बता दीजिए. What do you think would be the one of the multi-bagger? What do you think?
Yes, sure. Let me share my screen. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, two tap. Yeah.
So this is one of the stocks where I've talked last 1 month before, and there's a good opportunity. So the stock name is IB Real Estate, that is India Bulls Real Estate. and this is our pick from this coming to play on the real estate cycle. Jo research we have seen, right? So to bet on that, we have a stock called IB Real Estate. So there is a reason why I am talking about this. So why IB Real Estate? So let's talk about what they have, right? So the market cap. So this is my Twitter handle, Bullseye. So you can always get some insights here. So though this is not a, let me give a disclaimer, this is not an investment recommendation. It is only for a study purpose. So you can always do your research before investing in the stocks. And so this is a thread on iBull Real Estate. So company के पास 1900 acres of fully paid land bank है, which is there in Mumbai, NCR and Chennai. Under construction residential projects, they have 15.5 million. Matlab, that is almost 1.5 crore square foot office space under construction. 15.5 million residential projects are under construction, and the office space hai, that is almost 1.3 million square foot. That is like 13 lakh square foot ka office construction they are going. And the total net surplus from ongoing projects. So the ongoing projects जो है, तो उनमें जो उनको जो टोटल सरप्लस आने वाला है, दैट इज ऑलमोस्ट ऑफ 10,000 करोड़, और कंपनी है 6,000 करोड़ की. सो इफ यू सी, राइट, the residential business have surplus and launched planned residential capital is exceeding 18,500. So what does it means कि अगर और 300 करोड़ रुपए if they complete the completion of the projects would going to take 201 crore rupees to realize 10,000 crore of surplus launched from the real estate. So basically in simple language कि 200 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट्स और उनका बाकी है जो उनके ongoing constructions है, once they invest and ready those construction sites, right, so the money which they are going to receive, जो पैसा उनको वहां से आने वाला है, that is near to 10,667 crores from those residential estates. And the second thing which is going to kick off is like the IB Real Estate is going to merge with the one of the largest what you call largest commercial real estate company called as Embassy Real Estate. So these are going to merge with all the Embassy Real Estate groups, and this merger is going to create one of the biggest real estate sector in terms of surplus. So basically ये दो companies जब merge होंगे, so this will be the largest company in India in the real estate sector, which is holding the commercial as well as the residential projects. So if you see, I'll just share this photo here. So these are going to, the combined entity is going to be one of the largest real estate sector developer with an optimum launched or planned area of 80 million square feet. In all, they have 30 projects spread across Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities, that is Mumbai, Delhi, NCR, Gurgaon, Bangalore, Pune. And as I mentioned, right, only 201 crores are required to realize the 10,000 crore surplus from the residential assets. And the planned commercial projects which they have, right, this is very important. So what IB Real Estate does is like they create the commercial projects and they rent it out to the embassy groups, to the real estate groups like malls. So the total annual income which will be coming from rent is 4,200 crores. So the commercial जो projects है उनसे जो annual rent उनको आएगा, that is nearly 4,200 crores. So this is very big as compared to what market capitalization iBull Real Estate has. iBull Real Estate has a market capitalization of only 6,000 crore right now, and annually they are going to get a rent of 4,200 crores. So imagine what is the intrinsic value of the company. And as I mentioned, what is the real estate sector tailwinds? So why real estate sector is going to perform? So this we mentioned in our presentation as well. So lower interest rates, so industry consolidation for 8 years, unsold inventory, and there are some real estate players which have survived RERA, demonetization, and GST, and real estate cycle kicking off in global countries, and the huge liquidity due to stimulus across the world. So this is the basically our one of the top picks to play out on this real estate sector. So apart from this, if you have any questions, if you need anything, you can always reach out. We have our portfolio advisory services as well, wherein we buy quality, we hold, and we exit. We provide all guidance of on buying, holding, and exiting the stock. And yeah, so let's open up the forum for questions.
Hi Sahil, Rohit this side.
Yes, Rohit.
Yeah, a very good session, like short and to the crisp. Thank you for that. So basically, I have two questions for you. So right now, Nifty P is trading at 26-27 range. So if there is a global correction in the market, so according to you, which sector will hamper, will have the disadvantage most? Do you think?
So see, so the correction which जो आएगा market में, right? This correction is going to be there because we have disproportionately the Nifty is up, right? मतलब जितना अपना कंपनी का earnings है और जितना निफ्टी ऊपर गया है, there is a lot of disproportion or there is a lot of gap. So definitely correction आएगा, but that correction would not last more than 10%. According to us, 5 to 10% के ऊपर correction नहीं आएगा, because we are into a mega bull market, which according to us is at least going to last until 2023. मतलब 2023 तक we are going to 2023-24 तक we are going to see this bull market, and उसमें you are going to see lot of corrections also. ऐसा नहीं है कि bull market में सिर्फ चीजें ऊपर ही जाती है. There are going to be minor corrections, and that is very healthy. Those corrections are very healthy because वो corrections में you get opportunities, right, to invest and invest in good quality companies. Because अभी क्या हुआ है in this market in 16,600 quality companies तो चली है, quality companies के साथ कचरा companies भी चली. So now only अभी ये correction में जो कचरा है वो settle down हो जाएगा और जो quality companies है वही चलेगी. So वो जो पीरियड था, एंड माइंड रोहित, वन मोर थिंग कि जो रिटर्न्स आपने पिछले एक साल में कमाए, डू नॉट कंपेयर दोज रिटर्न्स विद द कमिंग इयर्स. यू आर नॉट गोइंग, आई एम श्योर फॉर दैट कि आपको उतना रिटर्न जो आपको एक साल में मिले वो रिटर्न्स आपको कमिंग इयर्स में नहीं मिलेगी. सो दैट इज फॉर श्योर, बिकॉज दैट इज अ वंस इन अ लाइफ टाइम डिकेड अपॉर्चुनिटी, राइट? कि जहां पे मार्केट इतना बॉटम में आया और जिसने लिया है, पीपल हैव बेंट 3x 4x. But we have to lower down our return expectations. यहाँ से जैसे टाटा स्टील 250 रुपए का 1400 रुपए हो गया है, we are not going to see this kind of run up right after this now. So companies will take time. मतलब they are going to be 2x 3x opportunities in some sectors, but it will take time of 1 year 2 years. So those who are having the investment horizon of 1 to 2 years, they are only going to make money from here on. ये जो बीच में दिस लास्ट 6 months जहाँ पे एक महीने में पैसा दुगुना हुआ है या तिगुना हुआ है, इन लास्ट 6 months people have made 2x 3x money. That is for sure not going to happen in coming years now. So we just need to moderate down our expectations on returns, because things have already shot up quite well.
Yeah, and as reality sector is going to increase, so I think banking shares will also have an impact on it. Like, what's the idea behind it?
Yes. So banking, of course, banking is going to definitely have an impact, because banking, as I said, banking has not performed, right? But there is one overhang to the banking share. Banking share के साथ problem ये है कि due to this entire COVID situation, right? There are a lot of loans which are write off. There are a lot of NPAs, that is non-performing assets. There are loan disbursements भी नहीं हुए और loan collections भी कम हुए. So that's the reason they are not performing right now. But yeah, surely in coming days, maybe after 1 or 2 quarters, you will start to see a good growth in these beaten down stocks, because housing finance stocks or banking companies have not performed in the way the Nifty has performed. So surely there is going to be good growth there. But we surely have to check the quality companies from those, because there are a lot of companies where loan write-offs are large, and due to which they are into losses. So we have to pick our stocks very selectively in banking also. So preferably private banking stocks are very good. and housing finance companies are also good. But since the cost of borrowing of private bank companies is less than housing finance, so housing finance companies will face a bit of heat. But yeah, over a period of time, they are also going to perform.
Yeah, and my last question is basically, which sectors you think should be avoided for next 3 years, according to you?
So there is no, because since we are in a bull market, so bull market is for all sectors. So there is going to be growth in all of the sectors. So there is nothing as such to avoid. But yeah, I will surely say just avoid the penny stocks and the small cap stocks where the debt is huge and the management is not visionary. You can get out of those stocks where you have a lot of debt, where you don't see a growth, right? और जहाँ पे and specifically in small cap stocks, because अभी small cap stocks have had a good run up, बहुत भागे, and इसमें जिनके fundamentals अच्छे नहीं है वो भी भागे, right? So now just avoid the penny companies and prefer the mid to large cap companies where you can invest in, because right now after this returns, अगर आप penny stocks में या for example कि जो छोटे स्टॉक्स है और जिनका ग्रोथ फ्यूचर अहेड अच्छा नहीं है और उन पे डेप्थ बहुत सारा है, दे विल अगेन सेटल डाउन, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो अप. सो अवॉइड अ वेरी स्मॉल कैप स्टॉक और पेनी स्टॉक्स, और जो व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड जैसे वोडाफोन आइडिया है, राइट, ह्यूज डेप्ट, ह्यूज गवर्नमेंट ओवरहैंग. So that is definitely I don't think so there is a question on survival of idea. So that's where avoid such kind of stocks wherein you have ki dugna kam price hai and we are investing because the price is less without seeing the fundamentals. So avoid the penny stocks and mid cap stocks wherein you are seeing lot of debt and lot of concern over debt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Shubham here.
Yes, Shubham.
मेरा क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग स्टॉक मार्केट में एक अभी जो ETF चलता है उसके बारे में था कि
Okay.
बहुत सारे लोगों को ETF के बारे में पता नहीं है. आई एम
Right.
नॉट कंपेयरिंग म्यूचुअल फंड एंड ETF, बट मेरा व्यू ऐसा था कि म्यूचुअल फंड से ETF बेटर हो सकता है क्या, क्योंकि म्यूचुअल फंड का जो एक्सपेंसेस रेशियो बहुत हाई है
Right.
कंपेयर टू ETF. बहुत लोगों को
Right.
ETF के बारे में नहीं है, तो इसके बारे में आपका क्या व्यू रहेगा?
So yeah.
जो लेस रिस्क लेना चाहते हैं मार्केट में डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टिंग से.
Right, right. Definitely, ETFs, exchange traded funds, are very good option to invest. But one thing with ETFs is like, and अगर आप compare करो mutual funds के साथ, so in mutual funds also there are some thematic fields.
Okay.
जैसे अगर हम बात करें कि ETF में you don't have those themes, right? So अभी जैसे हमने real estate sector के बारे में बात की, so there are
Yes.
some mutual fund themes also, कि where you see that what you call, जैसे कि रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर से रिलेटेड एक प्लान है, एक म्यूचुअल फंड्स है, राइट?
Yes, yes.
So you can have that growth. ETFs में क्या होता है कि there is a overall good stocks या नवरत्न company stocks are there into that ETF, and mostly in exchange traded funds we have some government companies also. So what happened there, वहाँ पे वो overhang रहता है ETFs में. और अगर किसी को थीम से इन्वेस्ट करना है कि now down the line 5 years I see real estate sector growing, right? So what I can do is like in mutual funds में मेरे पास वो ऑप्शन है कि मैं वो पैसा वहां पे जाके इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ, कि वहां पे रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर में जो स्पेसिफिकली जो म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्ट करता है वहां पे जाके इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ, या फिर जो कंजम्पशन स्टोरीज में इन्वेस्ट करता है, राइट, मैं वहां पे इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ. वो ऑप्शन वी डू नॉट हैव इन एक्सचेंज ट्रेडेड फंड्स. So if you have to go thematic, then you go with mutual funds or direct investments. If you have to go normal, you can go with the exchange traded funds. So क्या है कि दोनों का what do you call the market, yeah, if the features which both of them are provided are pretty different. So basically jisko what is suitable to us is more important. So if you are willing to take some risk, right, so we can always invest in thematic mutual funds. Otherwise, if you are willing to take low risk, we can go with exchange traded funds.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Pawan, Riaz here. So yeah, just wanted just hold on. ETFs, mutual funds and equities, I also find one good option right these days is called a small case. I really like the way that they are moving. They are growing this pace. So, what is your view on the small case, and what do you
Small case
suggest?
also is a very good option because it is like your own mutual fund. You can always go with the small cases because wherein people in small cases you can, जैसे मैंने बोला कि mutual funds में thematic mutual funds है तो कुछ themes के लिए अगर उसमें नहीं है, so small there are many small cases which have those thematic ideas, right? And where fund managers they do the rebalancing every 15 days or every month. So small case is going to be a very good option going forward. Just people are not aware about it right now, but yeah, it is going to be very good. People should understand about small case and invest using small cases also. So small case compared to as Shubham said, right, the expense ratio for mutual fund is more. So small case is one of the good options where the expense ratio is less and where you get insights from the good managers. So yeah, small case is going to be the disruption in the investing industry in coming years. So it is very good to understand about small case and start investing using that.
Okay. Hey, hello everyone. Hi Pawan. This is Piyush Srivastava.
Hey, hi, Piyush.
Hi. So I think first of all, I think it is really good to see like one of your old friends, just contributing towards such areas, and I would really appreciate you, Pawan. I would say taking such initiative towards enhancing knowledge. People like us who have just maybe started investing or not trading definitely, but we started investing at least. So yeah, that's really commendable. So I have a couple of queries, Pawan. So basically, my first query is, how about the differences, or how about the short-term fund versus the growth fund? I mean, if I am looking for investing my money, maybe for like a horizon of 1 or 2 year, or versus 3 or 4 years. So where should I go? Maybe should I go to the short-term fund or the growth fund? This is my first question. Second question, Pawan, is mine. Say suppose, I mean, if I am, maybe what should be the correct percentage, or what should be the current blend of percentage for my monthly saving? I mean, should I, if I'm say suppose if I'm earning 20%, I'm saving 20% of my money, monthly salary, 20% should be investing directly to equity market, or it should be a blend of market? I mean, some should go to PPF, some should go to some saving account or FD or something, and 10% should be go to equities. So what is the best blend of percentage? I mean, where should I invest my money?
Yeah. So Piyush, I'll answer your second question first. So regarding the allocation of the money, right, or allocation of your savings. So this is a question which totally depends upon your risk appetite and your needs, right? So if you do not require money for next 5 years, and since as I know your age, so and since you have started investing right now, right? So I would recommend based on your risk appetite, you can go with the long-term funds, because short-term funds are inversely related to the returns. So if you're having long-term funds, the returns which you're getting are more. In short-term funds, because you know that you need to move out that money, right? So
Exactly.
short-term, there is a lot of uncertainty whether you buy a mutual fund, because at this point, if you buy any mutual fund, right, market is at height, we don't know the direction of the markets, right? And if in short term, you want that money in next 1 year, so if you invest in a short term fund and markets are down right now, so you will be into losses at the time when you need to remove those funds from that, right? So yeah, so based on your when that money you will be requiring, you need to decide on that, whether I should go with the short term and long term.
Yeah, there's only benefit I see in short-term fund, or maybe I can say a debt fund. The expense ratio is much lower compared to the long-term fund, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because since they are holding for long term, right? So in long term, the expense ratio would be more, but the returns also would be more.
Yeah,
So in
exactly.
comparison to your returns, the expense ratio would be quite less in terms of what returns you're getting. And short term money is like when you want to invest in short term, right? So the uncertainty is there. So expense ratio is less, but chances of not getting returns or getting negative returns are also there in short term funds. So that you need to take always need to take care of. So while entering, and regarding your question regarding the allocation, right? So that thing, it is completely depend on the 5 factors. That is, first factor is what is your risk appetite, and risk appetite is drawn by by how much time you are expecting to hold it. If you are expecting to hold it for 3+ years, so that is one factor. If you are going to require that money in that during that time, that is one factor. So based on the factors, right? So since you're investing your savings, and that is 20% of your total what you're earning, right? So if you your allocation towards equity should be like 30%. 30% allocation should be to mutual funds, 20% should be to gold, and 20% should be to PPF. But right now, what the important thing is, since we are seeing the disruption in fintech industry, right? So people are very less likely to invest in PPFs because first we have a lock-in period, and agar utna hi time agar that lock-in period, right, for 15, for 5 years, for 7 years, and utna hi time agar aap mutual funds mein invest karo, so you are always going to have greater returns than PPF. That is for sure. If your time horizon is more than 10 years, mutual funds always beats PPF in terms of returns. So that is where PPF with PPF you cannot beat the inflation. So currently जो inflation जो महंगाई 10 साल में जो बढ़ने वाली है, that PPF अगर 7 साल में आपका पैसा भी डबल हुआ तो 7 साल में महंगाई भी डबल हुई, right? So PPF is nowhere going to beat inflation. So but still, if you want some part, you can keep that part in PPF. But right currently in this time in world, we very less recommend PPFs because there are a lot of quite good options to enter. There are a lot of good investment instruments where we can enter and generate more returns than PPF and have less risk also. There are government bonds also. There are mutual funds also. There are gold bonds also, where which provides a greater return. So rather than PPF, I would always recommend, if not equities, you can move that money to mutual funds or gold or any other asset class.
I see. Thanks, Pawan. Thank you so much. This is clear to me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One question is we have been asked regarding a metal stocks. Shall we still consider metal stock for investing? Metal stocks.
So see, so the metals are also in a super cycle, and they are going to be there. There is a supply demand issue which is happening because major supply for metals which is from China, that is being cut down due to the pollution issues. So metal cycle is going to be there, but let me just put a light. This metal sector is a साइक्लिकल सेक्टर कि जब तेजी आती है, जब वो चलता है, राइट, जब कमोडिटीज में तेजी आती है, राइट, मेटल आयन और प्राइसेस में तेजी आती है, देन मेटल सेक्टर गोज अप एंड विद द साइकिल इट कम्स डाउन अगेन. सो अगर इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टेड फ्रॉम द लोअर लेवल्स, राइट, then I would recommend. But abhi, at what the prices which we are trading right now and at what is happening, the risk reward ratio is very less favorable. So those who are willing to take high risk only should go into metal stocks at this point. One who is not willing to take risk, because cyclical stocks में क्या होता है, entry से ज्यादा exit important होता है. अगर metal cycle खत्म होने से पहले अगर आप उसमें से exit नहीं करते, तो you can get trapped in that on higher valuations. And currently we are at a very good valuations, not very high, not very low, but one who is willing to take risk. मतलब downside अगर उसमें है, अगर Tata Steel is 1400, so downside is there of 400 rupees, मतलब 1000 रुपए तक नीचे आ सकता है, और upside is there of 2000 rupees. So risk reward ratio is not that favorable as compared to other stocks. अगर जैसे मैंने बताया real estate stocks है, तो खोने को you have 10-20 rupees in IB real estate, और पाने को you have 200-300 rupees, right? So that's where the risk reward ratio is favorable in terms of banking companies or housing real estate companies or this kind of companies, which is not such favorable in metal right now. So based on that, you can always take a call, whether based on your risk reward appetite and risk reward ratio, you can always take a call and get into sectors which are favorable.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
had
Pawan.
one question, Shubham here.
Yeah.
जैसे कि अभी सेबी ने कुछ डिसीजन लिया है कि अभी यूएस मार्केट का भी अपन इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं इंडिया से.
Yes,
तो
yes.
इसके बारे में आपका क्या व्यू है?
So that is a very good move SEBI के से, because हमें हमेशा लगता है कि we could invest in Apple, we could invest in Amazon,
Yes.
which we were not able to invest right now, right? So Nifty is coming up with a pool of stocks, a pool of bigger stocks, wherein we can invest in US stocks directly. So that is a very good thing because हमको global exposure मिलता है, because we know that US or Europe they are the developed countries and we are still a emerging country. So जो trend वहाँ पे पहले शुरू होता है, right, that trend comes here, right? So that is very beneficial to us in terms of knowing the trends also and having. So US companies में valuations go like anything. अगर कोई and tech startup company है US में and you invest in early, you can get 300, 400 and 1000% of returns also. So that is a very good option which SEBI has brought on the investors plate. But yeah, before investing, you should have thorough knowledge of what companies you are investing. Because again, let me give you a example of very good company. So in 2000, Cisco was a company. Cisco is an IT company, very big company, which went up like anything, like 2000% in 1 year. And after that, if you see till from date 2000 to 2020, Cisco price has been there only from last 20 years. So it is very necessary you know about the company and then you invest. That we always say for Indian companies also, that we say for US companies also.
Yes,
So
absolutely
that
right.
is, bringing a very good option wherein we can invest globally and not only in India.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hello, Pawan.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Pradeep here.
Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah, I have a question, two questions basically. One, positive about real estate sector is land price has not increased far from last 2 years. Second, negative about this is the all other proxy companies which are like electrical, cement, metal, all they have increased by 25%, almost, right? That will have impact on this real estate sector also. Second question, in regarding portfolio management you do we have anything like SIP kind of things we can go it for in stocks also, like in mutual fund we do? Any insights on this?
Yes, I'll take on both the questions. So first question regarding, as you mentioned, right? So the real estate proxies like home building, cement, paints, the prices have gone up, and this will definitely impact. This will definitely impact the real estate. And as you said, the real estate ke prices nahi bade. But right now, in last 2 months, developers like Puravankara and Shobha developers, which are there in Mumbai, they have started increasing the prices by 10 to 15%, and they are passing on the raw material increase prices to the customers as well. And that's where we see the cycle picking up. And Abhi, Puravankara, Shobha developer, these small players have started. In coming next 6 months, you will see Godrej, you will see Oberoi Realty, you will see DLF also increasing the prices. And prices have already shot up in real estate, as I said, by 15-20%. And yes, and the price increase in this home building materials, they are definitely going to pass it on to the customers. But customers are also right now okay with it, because since last 7 years, the prices have not moved, right? So this is only a factor which is where the prices are going to move, because things have become more expensive right now. So this is the, so definitely, you will see that increase coming. So directly, since the current jo pehla inventory hai, wo abhi bhi hai, that's where they have not increased prices. For the new inventories and for the upcoming inventories, which for the projects which are planned, right, you will see that increase happening in prices as well. That will be reflected in prices. And yeah, so that is, yeah, the margins in short term will be impacted, but since the cycle is long, you are going to see the prices settling down at this point for the building materials, and then prices going up for the real estate. And for the second question, yeah, so basically the plan which we provide, right? So at Bullseye Advisory Services, what we do is our plan is only the same as like SIP. There is no, so every month we recommend only one stock, right? So that is basically SIP. So first we need to decide our cash flow. 12 mahine mein I am going to invest this much of money, and every month I am going to invest. We do it like SIP only. So we do it like mutual funds only, because we know mutual funds have provided the same kind of returns. So uska reason hi yahi hai ki jab aap har mahine invest karte ho, right, like an SIP. So even if the market is falling, so you get something there. So abhi agar Nifty 16,600 ke wahan par hai, right, and it is at height. अगर आप, if we go by the what people are saying, so market अभी height पे, तो अगर market कल नीचे भी आता है तो next month also what we are going to recommend one stock only and you are going to invest into that. So something next month अगर market नीचे भी आता है तो you are going to invest. उसके अगर next month भी market नीचे आता है तो next month also we provide one or two stocks you are going to invest. So in this way what happens is you are able to mitigate the risk. So अगर risk manage कर सको तो return अपने आप आता है. So at Bullseye Advisory what we focus on is managing the risk. Once we are able to manage the risk, return अपने आप generate होता है. So to manage the risk only we invest like in a SIP form. Every stock not more than every month not more than one or two stocks we invest. And that investment horizon is basically for more than a year. So when you are investing more than a year, so if you see it here, so 12 to 15 stocks in 1 year, we have a where we provide like an SIP, so that every month आपका savings होता है, right? Every month we get a salary, we save something and then we invest. So in that way, every month we give only one stocks based on your savings, right? And after that every month जब आप invest करते हो तो you mitigate risk. Market ऊपर जाए या नीचे, आप हर महीने अगर invest करने वाले हो तो market ऊपर जाए या नीचे जाए इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So that's where we have designed our subscription plans based in that way only कि आप हर महीने invest कर सको. And उससे आपका risk mitigation होता है, उससे आपका portfolio diversify होता है और उससे आप consistently आप returns generate करते हैं. I hope Pradeep, this answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you.
एक question था पर yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Yes, who if anybody want to ask question, please go ahead.
शुभम here, hello.
Yes, you.
जैसे कि आपने सेक्टर के बारे में बात किया, जैसे अभी मेरा एक और एक कहना था कि जैसे ऑटो सेक्टर है जो फ्यूचर अभी अपन देखते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रिक का है जो, तो
Right.
उसके बारे में आपका क्या व्यू है? अगर नेक्स्ट जब अभी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होने वाला इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल अपकमिंग है तो
Right.
उसके बारे में आपका क्या व्यू है? वो भी एक ग्रोइंग सेक्टर रह सकता है.
Right. So Shubham, basically it is a growing sector. EV का transformation होने वाला है. We are hearing this from 2018. 2018 से हम लोग सुनते आ रहे हैं. But since there is a lack of infrastructure, lack of charging stations, lack of EV policy by government, right? So अगर 3 साल अगर वो transformation नहीं होता है, right? So then at that time अगर 3 साल में आपको कुछ return नहीं मिलता है वो stocks में, then it's of not any use, right? So transformation होने वाला है. कब होने वाला है, कितने टाइम में होने वाला है, कितने टाइम तक होने वाला है, we don't have answer on that, right? क्योंकि चलो ओला ने इलेक्ट्रिक निकाला है, there are a lot of electric vehicles, but we don't have charging stations, right? Or the price of the bikes is too high as compared to what we have in the traditional prices, right? So people will start adopting it. It would take years to adopt. Infrastructure setup होने में सालों लग जाएगी. अगर मैं आज ही उसमें अगर इन्वेस्ट करके बैठूं, और अगर मुझे 2 साल तक रिटर्न नहीं मिलता है तो मैं थक के वो स्टॉक बेच दूंगा, right? And I'll sell it and then it will start moving because this all infrastructure और ये जो भी बात है that is going to happen very slowly. So this so that's where the sector is good, but how much time it is going to take and the lack of the policies, right? So that would going to take time, but surely when this when we see that infrastructure is in place और काम चल रहा है उस पे या फिर सब्सिडी प्रोवाइड किए गवर्नमेंट्स ने बहुत, जिससे people have now started buying. People have not started buying it right now. So when we see that happening, then surely we can enter into that space as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So
Hello, Pawan. One stock specific question that we had from Arvind. He is one of my friend and colleague in Bangalore. So he has a question about Bajaj Finserv. He bought it at 9,800. And what do you think we should hold it, or what is the target you are looking at? Also regarding the India Mart, what do you think?
So I do not have coverage on Bajaj Finserv, but as a blue chip stock, it is going to it has a good growth prospects and it is going to perform well in coming days. But so that is a growth stock that will be providing you 10-15% growth every year consistently. So, but if you're looking for something which is a multi-bagger, so that surely cannot be a multi-bagger stock. So, but yeah, as a growth company, that should always be there in your portfolio. And on the second question, like IndiaMart. So IndiaMart is also one of the platform-based companies and a very good company. But recently, what has happened is like Just Dial has got acquired by Reliance Retail, right? So Reliance has a capability to scale up the B2B business platform. So Just Dial also came up with the same platform which IndiaMart is there. And since they have came with the same platform, and Reliance has an ability to scale it, because with 33 crore customers, which Jio customers which they have, they can put on that onto that platform. So and if you compare the valuations also of Just Dial and IndiaMart, so I feel IndiaMart is quite overvalued, though it is one of the leaders in that company and it has got a good market share. But if Just Dial is able to execute its B2B business properly, and given on what valuations it is trading currently, and the new acquirer, that is the Reliance, will be the new promoter of Just Dial, I feel that as compared to IndiaMart, I'll prefer Just Dial, because IndiaMart is trading at a very premium valuations, and the ability to scale IndiaMart also has, but not as much as what Reliance Retail or Reliance Jio can do.
Thank you, Pawan. Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah, please ask. Or I think we have crossed a lot of time now. I think
Yeah.
12:13. Yeah. So
Hello,
probably we'll
hello.
take one or few more questions. Yeah.
Last question from Shubham. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sure. Yeah, continue.
Your views on cryptocurrency?
So Shubham, we currently do not track and we do not invest.
Okay.
Since, we are not expert at that, so not
Okay.
commenting on that would be a bit.
Okay, fine, not an issue.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay. I see. I think most of the questions are answered. So yeah, thank you so much, Pawan. It was a great session. The major thing that I understand, जो मुझे समझा, ये equity investment में कितना research and everything लगता है, because you can talk on Just Dial, you can talk on anything, you can talk on various stocks, business model, you can talk on China, and this is all definitely comes from a really good research. So that's great. Both we feel really great actually by listening these thoughts. I think
it's a very good platform for me, and I'm if we are able to add value to the investors and able to give the right approach to the investors or the investing community, so that is the best thing which we can do, and we can share our knowledge as much as we can, and so that investors are aware of what to do, how to do, and how we can do it. So it should help the entire community. This is the only reason behind it. And yeah, that's
awesome.
it. So Riaz bhai, jo
Very
aapke
nice,
साथ
very
जो
nice, yeah.
normally discuss hota hai, wo we are discussing in forum. So everybody is having that
Yeah.
getting that knowledge, right? So that is good for
Exactly.
entire investing community as well. So which would help them to grow. So that is the intention. And thank you all for giving your time and joining. And surely give us your feedback on is it adding value to your existing knowledge or your portfolios and all. So yeah, you can always
Thank you so much, Pawan. It was a great
me
session.
if there is anything. And yeah, so if you have any questions which were unanswered, you can reach out to us. So we will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Awesome. Great start with the weekend. Yeah, thank you so much, Pawan. It's
Thank you.
I think it was worth spending time with your
Yes, and I would like to thank Riaz also. So basically the content we have created. So I am not good at presentation. So Riaz had very well articulated it, and he has just the presentation just say it should be catchy to public. So the Riaz have put in a lot of effort. So I'd like to thank Riaz also and thank everybody, all the entire participants. And looking forward to meet you again in upcoming sessions. We are surely going to have concurrent sessions every 15-20 days. So do let us know your topic. If you want to cover any topic, if you want us to cover any topic, we'll surely take it and try to cover it in our upcoming sessions.
Awesome. One more thing I would like to say before going, everybody, we had a one session before and we put that into YouTube. So YouTube channel पे हमारे videos है, हमारे Twitter पे भी है. So join there. अगर आप if you are there, आपको पता चलेगा कहाँ पे हमारे videos है, next session कब होने वाला है. So we can discuss more and more things like this, right? So yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Yes.
Great talking with you, and thank you everybody.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Option trading, yeah, we'll talk about it later on in future.
Yeah, so Joe, we'll just take this up. So
Okay, sure.
so Aravind, it's from Aravinda. So Aravinda, basically we have tried all the instruments going into F&O, doing option trading. But let me tell you, so investing beats everyone. May it be trading, may it be option, may it be futures. If you're investing for a longer term, it beats everyone, because for option trading you need a lot of discipline, you need a lot of money as well, and not a lot of money, but the time decay and looking at other all factors, and you need to devote your entire time apart from what is your profession. So if you are into another profession, right, so it is very difficult to track your positions on a minute to minute basis, where things are changing every minute. And my personal experience also, I've lost money while doing the options trading and future and options trading. And I've had experiences of mine also, and I've seen around also. So according to us, the future trading and option trading is a sum zero game. आपको आज पैसा मिलेगा तो कल जाएगा, and you have to do it with a lot of dedication, and आपको आपका existing profession छोड़ के वो काम करना पड़ता है. So generally we do not recommend doing the F&O trading or option trading because you are not at peace while doing that. I hope
Awesome.
this answers.
Thank you, Pawan. I think we should rename our sessions to Wisdom of Pawan.
No, it's not. It's just a learning, and everybody is I am just a learner here, and I'm just sharing my experiences, what I have had, and hopefully it will. I expect that it would help many investors or traders out there to go with the right approach and learn from all experiences of other investors also. So that's it.
ठीक है, सही है. Awesome. Okay, so thank you so much, Pawan. Yeah,
Yes.
great. It was great listening to you again. And bye bye. Hope everybody was everybody got something
Yes,
today in the session. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.